Okay.
Yay.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy Thursday. Okay.
Happy Eve.
Happy Friday Eve. Yes. Okay. So we are meeting to do our Zoom discussion for APPTEL task 1, and everyone's here. So hope everyone's having a good day and a good week.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. So let me share my screen. I feel like it's this one. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. So I just put the little list here of what we were supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be focusing on our task 1 and then remaining tasks that we have to do for APPTEL. So I just listed task 1 here. We were supposed to do a literature review. That was fun. And we were supposed to be researching teacher empowerment and leadership best practices, which of course we're going to include, as you can see here, teacher leadership and decision-making, building efficacy and empowerment among staff, results-oriented professional development, recruitment, placement, and mentoring of school staff, and approaches for evaluation of school staff. So how did everybody feel after task 1?
I'll
I'll go.
start.
I felt okay about it. I do like some of the topics that we had to talk about in task 1. We kind of touched on in our APSL. But as doing the research or the literature review, it was also kind of nice to see or get a better understanding of why our administrators do the things that they do. Like prime example with the evaluation. I know I looked at one of our chapter readings or the books that we have for the course and was able to get somewhat of a better understanding or the thought process of those evaluations. So that was my 2 little nuggets from task 1.
Yeah.
I felt like that all of them linked with each other, like the leadership and decision making fell with, went with the empowerment among staff, went with the professional development, because you got to empower in these professional developments. The whole recruitment, placement, and mentoring, that's efficacy, so they all linked, with each other, which made it somewhat, difficult trying to, talk about all those things when they all kind of are, linked with each other. So that's my.
Yes.
I think they're excellent topics. They're very interesting topics. I felt like some of the research was a little dated. I felt like it was kind of hard to find a lot of research. I actually probably about 10 years ago now, I actually saw Todd Whitaker in North Carolina. I have a book signed from him, so he wasn't as big as he is now. Um, yes, and so I've read a lot of his work, and that was interesting to see it in action here. I'm a big Marzano fan, so that was also good to use. But I just felt like it was kind of hard to find a lot of information on the topics, and that made this task difficult for me when I was trying to prepare. I started on it early, and I still was like a buzzer beater trying to get it together and meshed together and synthesized.
Yeah.
I felt the same way because a lot of the research, you would start reading articles and then it kind of went off on another tangent, or it was dated 2005, or so I too felt like writing the paper wouldn't have been as hard if the research would have been and there were books, but
Right,
I wasn't
right.
prepared to read and buy and read books, so that's on me, I guess. But yeah, I agree. I felt like it was harder to find
Mm-hmm.
quality articles.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm going to piggyback off you ladies just a little bit. I thought all of your comments were exactly the way I feel. I think they're all interesting topics. I agree that there's the research does need to be updated with where we are now with education. A lot of them were books, and it was a little more difficult to find that research. Now, when we started diving into the results, I thought it was interesting to see exactly how the people in our school felt with each of those topics since our questions related to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that interesting when I received my results to see, oh, yeah, I feel that way, or, just seeing how everybody feels overall.
Yeah, I would agree. So, I agree with you, Keshini, that the topics are very interrelated. I agree with you that like teacher empowerment is going to be really important for each of these other things, feeling like they have decision making and feeling like they can input into professional development. And obviously playing a role in mentoring new teachers is going to be based on how well they do as a mentor. Some of that can be tied back to, do they feel safe and secure in their job? Do they feel like they have decision-making power? Are they positive about their job in their school? Because that attitude will impact new teachers. So it's this really interesting cycle. And then kind of segueing into task 2, which you were just mentioning, Allison, where we have to start getting the data from our coworkers. And I told my coworkers it was anonymous, and it was interesting to see. I mean, I think that they were honest about how they felt.
Right.
And I like my school. We like our school, but for these specific questions, it was interesting that it was, anonymous, and they were honest in what they feel like they do or don't have some say in. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. I think when we look at task 2, we talked before the video started about having completed walkthroughs. And I think when I look back at the research, teaching has changed over these last 10 years, and teachers do have more decision-making power. They do a lot more as far as on the hiring teams and being on budget questions and things like that. They do have more power, but the research has not kept up with that. And that made it hard as well. The walkthroughs, I think the teachers were very honest on the survey. But when I'm doing a walkthrough and the things that we've spent a lot of money on at our school, that we had a whole back to school workshop on, was rigor, and I did not see the rigor. So we want to give teachers empowerment, and decision-making power, but when they're left to their own devices, sometimes we don't do what we need to do to live up to that empowerment, or to live up to the expectations because teachers do have a lot more power versus 10 to 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've moved, it's shifted, but we have to live up to the expectations that people are placing on us.
I agree with that too, because in our school, my principal is pretty trusting that we're doing and treat us like professionals. But with any job, you always have people that may take advantage of that and not always follow that. So I still think there has to be still a healthy balance with admin,
right,
and teachers, because everybody is accountable to somebody.
right.
So I still feel like maybe, we have more, and sometimes we don't get the feedback anymore as much as we used to.
Right.
And, a 5-minute walkthrough sometimes is here and there is, to me, just not enough sometimes to, with zero feedback. Like, how are you going to improve on your skills without feedback? So.
Yeah, I think a short walkthrough as a teacher, I understand that it can create some heightened awareness for the teacher and the student when the admin is in there observing you. Okay, so
Mhm.
so then everybody's on guard and everybody's acting all proper, and that can change the dynamic of the classroom. Okay, so as a teacher, I totally get that. But then as a person that's observing, you also can't really adequately observe in like 5 minutes or 10
Mhm.
minutes, because that's just such a short snapshot of what the class is
Mhm.
like. And again, everybody's on their best behavior,
Mhm.
which is good, but then
Mhm.
you don't really know what the dynamic's like. So it's very interesting to see it from both viewpoints.
Mhm.
You know, obviously as a teacher, I want everybody to behave and then them to leave. And then if I'm observing, I'm like, okay, well, that was lovely, because I don't really know, you know, everybody was behaving. I don't know how it really is on a day-to-day schedule. So
Right.
And one thing I would
Right.
add to that is when I listen to Dr. Hamilton and Dr. Crawford speak about, and this is where I would like to be as a leader, and I don't have this at my school. I would be in classrooms every day. There would be no surprises during a walkthrough because I would be in the classrooms
Yeah.
coaching teachers, helping them grow. If
Mhm.
you're only doing walkthroughs to new teachers and teachers who are up for reval, that's not enough. So
Right.
when you
Right.
do the 15-minute, you're not going to get what you need. But if
Mhm.
you're doing them on a consistent basis, you
Mhm.
know exactly what your teachers are doing. And so
Mhm.
that makes the difference. And teachers won't have anxiety. They don't have to perform because they know you're coming
Mhm.
every day. I'm coming.
Right.
Right.
And so you don't have
That's
to perform.
Right.
that's what I was gonna add to it. I think sometimes if we made it more of a habit, then
Right.
teachers and students know what to expect, and then you're getting
Right.
a true glimpse as to what it
Right.
looks like. And I know there was one school that I was at before where even teachers came, other teachers visit
Right.
other teachers' classroom for
Mhm.
walkthrough, not only just to give that teacher a feedback, but maybe I teach math and I go visit science. There might be a strategy that they're utilizing in their classroom that I could use in mine. So I think if some of those things happen a little bit more frequently, it can have a greater impact than what we think.
Mhm. I conduct instructional rounds with I'm over the math teacher, so we do instructional rounds within the math department where we go look at other math teachers, and I'm expanding it this year to where we have a English coach now. So we're going into English classes, because curriculum across I
Right.
mean
Right. Integrating.
literacy across. So
Integrating.
we're going into English classes now, just to look at them and get a snapshot of what they doing. And we did our first round last week, and every teacher got something from an English teacher, whether it was how they conducted their warm-up, or how they what was on their graphic organizer that was on their wall, or so that was good. So
I think teachers being able to visit each other is a
mhm,
great tool. Now, my school, our budget has it's had a lot of issues this year, so we've actually lost a lot of people. So we
mhm,
don't have that opportunity anymore. And just now that we don't have that opportunity, we're all like, okay, we really miss this because what this teacher's doing or what we may not see, we say, hey, what are you doing? But we don't have that opportunity anymore. But like you said, if I was the administrator, then I would definitely find some way to find
Yeah.
some
right,
way to do that.
The
right,
administrator could sit there for 30 minutes while you visit another teacher. Like you can come in a classroom.
Yeah.
You
right,
shouldn't be
Or that would
above
be
reproach.
nice.
You shouldn't
That
be
would be
above
nice.
reproach where you can't make things happen. If teachers are trying to better
Right.
themselves, and that makes them feel empowered. Their confidence goes up. Their efficacy goes up when
Yeah.
they're able to see their colleagues and talk to their colleagues. You have to make a way.
Yes,
mhm,
Right.
ma'am.
Or even as if I was observing, like if I was in your position, Allison, but I was if I was the principal and I observed somebody and they did a strategy, hey, I'm gonna come back to your class on Tuesday and I'm gonna record this because I think this is something I should highlight and
mhm,
share it out to the whole entire staff. There's another way you can do that too, and then
Right.
that's still gonna be what teacher help me out. Help me out with the word. It's in the thing.
efficacy.
The
Thank
efficacy.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
drawing a blank. But that is another way, or something that seems so simple. again, that
Mhm.
could build that as well.
It's the
So
little
there's
things.
ways around it. Yeah.
We definitely miss it.
Mhm.
Right.
And then you one of you ladies said it, but instead of saying, "Oh, I think you did good here and you did good here," I think Dr. Hamilton or one of our professors said that instead of saying, "Okay, you did a good job," say what you did good, what you hit
Right.
on, what strategy you used. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
specific feedback.
Yes.
So
I went on my instructional rounds. I got to see multiple grades, but I got to see this kindergartner teacher, which I would never want to teach kindergarten. But this lady,
Either.
young, she's probably only been out of college very short time. Man, that woman was amazing. And they say she's like this all day. Those kids, all 20 of them were engaged, no assistant the entire time, doing Hegarty, like phonemic awareness. They were doing firecrackers, like as brain. I mean, it was just phenomenal. And I've not really gotten to see a lot of other teachers teach. So it was so cool to see, gosh, this lady could offer so much PD on her own
Right.
Mhm.
without
Mhm.
even going outside that school. Like,
Right.
let her show some stuff in staff meeting.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it was pretty impressive. Now, I would never want it, but she made it look effortless.
Mhm.
And but I know it's not. So it was just amazing. And they literally said she's that way at 2:00 every day.
Wow.
Still.
Wow.
Yeah. That's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about that in the results oriented professional development. I talked about that piece in my paper, how I forgot what author it was. So many references. But I forgot which author it was, saying how you should highlight your teachers, like your master teachers, or that first year teacher, something good is going on in the classroom, and how principals could save money instead of getting people to come in and do, PDs and, all that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. For
Can I
sure.
just say I'm scared, and I'll go on the record because we're recording of task 3.
Yes.
That's task 3.
I'm scared of task 2. Are you kidding?
Right. Wait,
Yes,
look,
I had,
What's task
yeah.
3? You jumped ahead. I hadn't even looked that far ahead. What is task 3?
I don't know if I want to know.
let me look
we
at
got to submit a video.
a video of us presenting it to our principal. So in task 2, we do data
Okay.
collection. We do the
Right.
walkthroughs, the surveys, etc. And we're discussing it. And then in task 3, we're supposed to build a needs assessment to show highlight what we're doing versus what the best practices are and what's the needs assessment. And we're supposed to present that to our principal and videotape it.
Mhm.
Okay,
And
well.
let me throw in there, we got 10 headings to write on.
Okay, I missed that part. Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's 10 headings to write on.
Gosh.
Wow, maybe we shouldn't have had that week off.
Yikes. No, maybe they should have put 5 tasks in here instead of 4. Maybe they could have split that up some.
Yeah. I
We
don't
got
know. Well,
Well, I'm already behind.
I think it is getting a little overwhelming, but I think we're in a good place. We're getting closer to break. She talked about how many classes we have left before break. So I think we're getting closer to break. It is a lot overwhelming. I will say, because my principal is not very receptive to feedback, and she wants to paint a pretty picture, that I can be intimidated. Even in the APPTEL, when I had to record and sit down with her with the data, everything wants to be a secret. So task 3 might be a little intimidating, because when I got the surveys back, it's not what she's going to want to see. So
Right.
yeah, so
well, she's gonna get if she's in North Carolina. If you're in North Carolina, the teachers or staff surveys go out this year, so she's going to get them anyway.
I
Yeah,
feel
we do
right
them.
on
Yeah,
now.
we do them in South Carolina. We do the teacher teacher surveys, student surveys, parent
This
surveys.
is our, we don't do it every year, but this is the year in North Carolina we do.
We do it every year in South
We
Carolina.
do it. I'm in Forsyth County, and we do it every year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we do a survey in my school in Buncombe County. We did it this
We do
past
it,
year and the
we
last
do
year.
we do a county one, but the state level one
Oh,
is the one we have this year at our, there's a state level one that gets a part of your school improvement, you know, on your grade, on your, if you look at your school report card, that information goes in that.
Right.
Call.
And the data is out there for everyone to see, but you know, a lot of people don't, don't go looking for it. I do like this is teaching me a lot about leadership and a lot of things that I want to do and a lot of things that I don't want to do. I want to be transparent with my staff. I don't want them to feel like they have to go to the South Carolina Department of Ed to find out about our school. Like I want to be transparent with you and talk to you about things. And if things need to be fixed, we can't fix it if it's hidden. So, those types of things.
well,
Well,
we're getting good practice.
yes.
For sure.
Sure.
The research based and the actual practice.
And yeah, theory and the practice.
Yes. For
Yes.
sure. For sure.
Yes.
Do you have a paid Zoom account? Because I can't believe we're not out of
No.
time.
But I get like 40 minutes. But we can wrap up because I don't, let me stop sharing my screen. And now we're all back together. So let me stop recording because I feel like we've addressed our questions.
Yes.